Hello, sorry I took a really long break, but I'm back due to popular demand, and today we're going to be looking at some of my unshared projects and deleted projects. Today I'm going to be doing this video with live narration. Usually I record everything after the fact, but this time I'm not going to do that. So the first project is just a high score system that I made for my friend. It's just you click this and if you get past the high score goes up. Here's the cat. It just checks when the sprite is clicked, and then it changes the score by 1. This is just the starting stuff with set score to 0, show, go to 0, 0. Here's the actual high score system itself. It's just a forever loop that says if the score is bigger than the high score, then set the high score to the score. That's pretty simple to make. Moving on to the second project, this is a really bad pathfinding kind of AI thing that I made. It kind of just moves around, and the red guys are trying to find the blue guy, and the blue guy is trying to find the red guys, but since there's so little of them, and since this takes so much processing power to run, then they never really find each other. But he can pathfind like away from walls and stuff. The code is actually fairly complicated. This is a failed bullet system that I tried to implement to make them be able to fire. I got rid of that. This is the actual pathfinding. It's pretty complicated, so I'm not going to go over it. The way it works is there's these costumes, and basically it switches between these and then back to this one at so fast that you can't see it, and then if one of these is touching a wall or something, or one of these guys, then it will turn. This is the failed shooting stuff. The red guys are the same, except they're trying to go after the blue one. That's pretty much it for this one. Okay, so the third one that we're going to get into is actually a playable thing. You move around like this, and then you can shoot these little apple things, and the death variable slowly goes down, and when you shoot an apple it goes up, so you just have to keep shooting the apples to stay alive. That's the whole game. So this is the actual sprite, and this sprite doesn't actually move around. This sprite stays stationary and turns, but when the arrow keys are pressed, which is what I'm doing here, these sprites actually move to give the illusion of this guy moving. So that's fun. A pretty simple shooting system, and these things, it says if there's less than 4 of these on the screen, then it'll make one. And that's pretty much it. It just kind of randomly spawns them in. If they're touching the edge, it deletes them. Like that after a while. But that's pretty much the whole game. This one is really interesting because this one I got pretty far into development. So basically what this is it's when you start the game, it spawns in a bunch of these element things, and you can like combine the elements to make different elements. So that's cool. But there's like oxygen and hydrogen and lava and fire. It was pretty cool, but it never really did anything because there wasn't really a goal to it. I think the highest thing you can build was a house, because if you combine the stuff, then you get glass, and if you get this tree, the stone, and the glass together, then it makes a house. It's really glitchy and doesn't really work properly. That's pretty much the whole game. It didn't really go anywhere, so I scrapped it, but it's a good idea. I'm not really going to show you how this one works, because it's just a bunch of, like, a lot of code to just check if things are touching each other. Now we move on to the trash folder. A lot of these are just empty projects that I deleted. Like, I just randomly made this and then didn't do anything with it. This one looks to be a physics thing that I was doing. I don't really know what it was about. Yeah, might have been a predecessor to my physics engine that I made. This one is called Rye 2, and it was just kind of like a chatbot type thing. I don't really know what it was, and I don't think it got very far on it. But it was supposed to be that you can send in messages and then it would respond with something. Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere. This looks to be a very early idea for like a tank builder or something. Yeah, so that will move. They'll move together. If you take this off, this won't move. It was pretty basic, and as you can see, the code didn't really work because it could just do like that. It was a kind of weird idea. Didn't really go anywhere. This was a project I made before I realized that you could only have 10 cloud variables in a project. I was going to try to make this like an r/place clone where you could place things and like color, and then it would save to the cloud variables, but that didn't really work because you could only have 10. So yeah, there's that. I don't really know what this is, but it looks like there's a blob trying to like wiggle its way up through the dirt. This might have been like a worm test type thing. I don't really know what it really was though. This was to mess around with the island generation for my evolution simulator. I just was messing around with different settings in here. So that is my entire trash folder, and with that, that concludes this episode of me showing you random stuff in Scratch. See you guys next time, which is hopefully soon. Bye!